You fucking
Hard
kidding
copy.
me?
I'm not bullshitting.
We could have been listening to that shit while we was there.
I'm telling you, that's what I say. And the funny thing about it is, I had a conversation once back with him, and I was like, "Yo, somebody had reached out to me on Facebook, and he was like, "Yo, I want some of your old shit, some shit I did after Hawaii." And I said, "I'll look into it." And I know I gave him a copy of everything we had, and he actually came out to Hawaii. He met Ramon. He probably even met you at one point in time, and you probably just don't remember. But he came out. He was out there for like a week or so, I think. But he came over to Ramon's, and and I had all the copies of everything we were doing, so I give them to him, and he brought them back. He had them all in his house. Even before I got down there, I was like, "Hey, somebody reached out. You got these?" And he sent me a screenshot of all of them still in the cases. And I was like, "Yo, I need to get those." So I go down there the night before I meet up with y'all, and I'm like, "Hey, do you have something for me to put these in so I could rip them down and make them digital, right? And put them on my phone or something like that?" And he's like, "No, I ain't got no CD players or anything like that. I just got the hard copies." And I was like, "All right," we're just talking and drinking, and I forgot. And I didn't even think about it once we got back to the crib.
Wow, that would have been fucking
and then
perfect.
Because I didn't want to take them from him, you know what I mean? Because I had given them to him, and I was like, whatever. I was like, "You're not listening to him if I took them." I'm pretty sure if I said, "Hey, just let me have them," he would have given them to me, but I just didn't think to ask about it. But it's funny you mentioned that. Like, I wish I had them too. But honestly, I don't wish I had them, because if I heard myself, I'd be so embarrassed.
Yo, you know what's crazy, man? I've listened to songs that I did years ago, and it's weird because when I listen, even with this podcast, man, when I listen to myself, I don't listen to myself as myself. I listen to myself as a viewer, as audience, as somebody that knows absolutely nothing about nothing. And I be listening to old songs, and I'm like, holy shit, I really fucking said that? Like, that's crazy. Like, I really sound like that? That's crazy. Or why the fuck did I say that bullshit? Like,
yeah.
Like, I actually enjoy listening to myself.
Right, or my delivery was slow or trash, you know what I mean? I didn't ride it the way, ride the beat the way I should have or whatever. But yeah, man, you're right. The collective of the people that was there, like you had Houston, you had, Neil from New York, you had you, Philly. I'm from Ohio.
Had fucking Ohio, California, fucking Midwest. Like we had down south, like we had every part of the United States. We had a motherfucker in our group. Like that shit was crazy.
And the funny thing is when I was talking to Sir Idol, we were, on the end of it, and we were actually pushing CDs. We were going out. We did a show, a show or two. One of them was at Worlds. It was Volcanoes.
I remember. I know we opened up for Big Tigger the night that I think that was like 2 weeks after I got out of the
remix to the R. Kelly song, right?
Yep. We went out for that, and then we opened up for, was it Swiss Beats?
Yeah, they had something going on. It was Pro Bowl weekend.
I want to believe that was Swiss. I can't remember. I want to believe, for some reason, Swiss Beats is popping in my mind. I want to believe that was the second one. I know the first one was Big Tigger. I want to believe the second one was Swiss Beats. I want to believe that.
We definitely had something going on. I mean, we were moving.
But here's the crazy part, right? When Ramon first came to me, he was like, "Yo, this is what I want to do." And I told him no. I flat out told him no, I don't want to do it. He was like, "Why not?" I said, every time I get into some shit with motherfuckers, soon as shit start going good, people want to fall off because they scared of how far this shit can actually fucking go. So I don't want to fucking do it. He promised me, we not gonna do that. We gonna make this shit happen, blah, 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 blah. I said, dude, do not. You can see, I put everything into what I do. I go fucking hard. Like real shit. Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm doing it. Like that's just what it is. And I told him that. Oh no, it ain't gonna be like that. Soon as shit start popping, everybody start disappearing. I'm like, dude, I fucking told you I didn't want to do this shit for that exact fucking reason.
Yeah, there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on with that. Some things happened that I'm not gonna go and say publicly that were happening behind the scenes. Once we started getting into trying to get more shows, screening models for shows, and things like that. It was great because at one point, a couple of people from the boat, one of the dudes, and hopefully I can get him on soon, was our
Had a security
our manager.
Uh-huh.
Lowry was our security. Somebody else was our security. They go with us, and so we were at Venus one night when we got VIP. We called ahead. They give us VIP. They're like, yeah, no problem. I was like, this is who we are. Get us in there. This is no joke. We're in there. Me, Ramon, I can't remember everybody. Lowry there. Everybody's in there. We're in there chilling in the VIP section of Venus. And if you remember Venus' setup, it was like the stage was on one side, and then straight back was a glassed-in VIP room.
Yeah.
Right? So we're in there sitting, and it's Pro Bowl weekend, right? So we're in there chilling. All of a sudden, somebody comes in and they're like, hey, Warren Moon and Tony Gonzalez and a couple people I think it was Tony Gonzalez. I'd have to check the years on that, but it was around 2003. So he might have been in the league then, I don't know. But either way, they're like, yo, Warren Moon, they want to come in. We're like, oh, hell yeah. And they're asking us? You know what I mean? Like, they're asking us to come in to be okay, yeah, come in. And then, because Warren Moon, Houston legend, Ramon was on it. Like, he was like, yeah, I gotta talk to the dude. So I thought that was pretty cool, man.
You know what sucks the most, cuz? Every time shit was like popping, my dumb ass was in trouble, so I couldn't even fucking enjoy none of this shit. Every fucking time, cuz.
That is true.
No, every time I was either in the brig or I was fucking on restriction. Every time, like, cause it was like I'd be good and shit be popping, and then all of a sudden some dumbass shit happened. It's like I'm in trouble for nothing.
You're like Capone out of Capone and Noriega.
Fast.
Every time she'll start popping, you're just yo, that thing going over there.
Exactly, cause that shit was like crazy, like every time, like. But the crazy part is, even with that being said, I still was like going fucking hard. And when I wasn't in trouble, I was like going hard, like trying to make this shit pop, like.
So, outside of music, right? Once you're on the boat, you get to Hawaii and you do your first deployment and you start to get exposed to overseas. What was your first port visit when we went on deployment? Do you remember?
I want to say, because I think we hit Thailand before we got to Australia, I want to believe.
So probably it was Bahrain first.
No, well, Bahrain for sure.
Right.
Bahrain, well, that's the thing. You couldn't really look at Bahrain as a port visit.
No, but
like,
I'm contextualizing the way to say, hey, I came from Philly, boom, cool. I'm in Hawaii, shocking, boom. Now I'm in the middle of a desert in the Middle East, right? And I really can't go anywhere. Well, we could go.
I remember.
I was in the mall. Actually, gold soup.
Actually, the very first time we went to Bahrain, we was able to go out,
right,
out into the city.
Did you buy any gold when you was out there?
You damn skippy, just like everybody else. I instantly, mind you, I'm not a fucking jewelry dude, but I fucking bought a chain just because I fucking could. Like,
that shit was so cheap.
Fact.
I bought a chunky neck.
Dog, I want to say it was a 24 karat Gucci link. It wasn't like a long joint. I think it stopped like right here. Then I had like a moderately sized cross. Cause I know, here's the fucked up part about it. I got that I wore that shit the whole fucking deployment, got back. I ended up getting in trouble when I was going to the brig. I can't remember who I gave it to. I'm like, yo, hold this joint for me. My chain fucking disappears. I've never seen this shit again. Yeah, that's when I stopped trusting motherfuckers. Cause I gave it, I can't remember exactly who, but I know I gave it to a motherfucker that I actually trusted. That's when I stopped trusting people on the ship right there.
Yeah, that happened to me with a whole. Remember back in the day, it was cool to have books of CDs.
Mm-hmm.
I had a whole book of CDs, and I left it in somebody's car, and it was like, nah, I ain't seen it. And I was like, oh.
Yep. At that point, it was like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't trust you motherfuckers as far as I can throw you. Like I used to have fucking, like even on the ship, like I was the dude, like, yo, go see Walls. He got all the porn. He got all the movies. Cause I had a fucking book in my rack, like this thick. Fucking CDs. Every time we pulled in the port, I would buy a bunch of CDs, I would buy DVDs, and I would buy porn. So motherfuckers like, yo, go to Walls. He got all the shit. So I let a motherfucker hold some shit. And I'm like, yo, where my shit at? Oh, I let such and such hold it. Nah, motherfucker, I let you hold it. You don't give my shit to somebody else.
Hey, you bring up a good question. It just popped in my mind right now. What was one of the most uncomfortable things while being on the boat deployed? Like in the middle of the ocean, we're in the thing. You got to live with a bunch of dudes. What was one of the most uncomfortable things for you? I got my interpretation of this. I just want to see what your mindset was.
For me, it was being woken up by people fucking their pocket pussy.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Like I don't like, dude. Like you could be a little bit more discreet with your shit, bro. Like I don't. Really
or opening the shower curtain and you see a certain page in a magazine wetted down, slapped to the shower.
Nah, fucking you. Berthing 3, you get your ass whooped for some shit like that.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of motherfuckers, mainly the white guys. Y'all can't jerk off like an average motherfucker. Y'all want to go buy these fucking flashlights that you could fuck. Like, why you want to fuck a flashlight, you fucking freaky bastard?
Hey, I wasn't doing that, but I know a couple people.
Yeah.
One of them was Asian.
Dude, I remember.
Had a pocket pussy.
I remember, and I ain't gonna fucking say his name. He actually a fucking chief now, man. Congratulations to you. If you know this fucking story, you know I'm talking to you. But this motherfucker, I remember he came down in the berthing and he was hype as shit. He was like, yo, y'all never believe what I just got. So everybody looking at him like, what you got? So he pull out this fucking box that's like this fucking long, right? So everybody's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, oh, I got me a pocket pussy. And all the black guys looked at him, was like, a pocket pussy? What the fuck is that? He's like, no, like, you know, it's this fucking tube and it has like it feels like you fucking a pussy. And I'm like, dude, nothing will ever feel like you fucking a pussy but a pussy. Like, I'm sorry that you actually felt that way, but it doesn't work that way. He's like, no, you don't understand. It has, the lips are real feel. I'm like, dude, you serious, bro? Like, you thinking too hard at this point, cuz. You thinking way too hard. Like,
that sounds like a fleshlight.
It was like, dude, just fucking jerk off like a normal person. Like, why you gotta fuck a tube? Like, just fucking jerk off and go to fuck to sleep. You gotta pull out this fucking tube and get ready and nigga, what you about to light a fucking candle and play fucking music with this shit too? Like, what the fuck is wrong?
How you cleaning that thing?
Exactly. Exactly. Now, here's the fucked up part about it.
Hey, that all-purpose cleaner that we had to Titivate shit.
No. Fuck all that shit, son. Fuck all that shit, son. I can remember this same fucking person, right? We probably, I want to say 3. This is where we was headed back. We left Australia, we was headed back, and then they told us to turn back around and head back up to the Gulf. We sat up there for what? It was like 4 or 5 months when we just sat in the fucking Gulf the whole time. I think we had I think we pulled in on the 3rd beer day, which was some bullshit. Right. But I remember. Say again?
They canceled that beer day for us because they pulled us in.
Exactly. Like, they was fucking slimy as shit for that one, but whatever. And I actually made bread both my beer days too. I sold both my beers for $20 a piece. No, one beer for 20, the other beer for 40.
Was that because you were too busy performing?
I didn't want, no. So I'm gonna tell you what's funny about that performance that day, right? I wanted to perform. Me and Chriswell wanted to perform, but Chriswell kept bullshitting. And he was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. So we both was like, fuck it. And the day of, it probably was like 3 or 4 hours before the actual talent show, he came to, he was like, yo, bro, let's just do it. Like, and I'm like, all right, well, what are we gonna do? He was like, yo, he pulled out a beat, and he was like, yo, we're gonna do something to this beat right here, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm scrambling to write a fucking verse.
What beat was it? You remember?
I can't remember what beat it was, to be honest with you. But I know I was scrambling to write a verse. And I ended up writing a verse. Chris wrote a verse as well. And we got out there, and no bullshit, I could only remember 2 lines. So I started fucking freestyling. And I remember, no bullshit, I remember saying, it's the Paul Heasy clique. Y'all can suck our dick, right? Oh. And fucking, yo, Pt.4 was the coolest fucking captain on the fucking planet. He started screaming, it's the Paul Easy clip. The Paul Easy clip. I was like, yo.
You're out there in the middle of the ocean, ain't shit around us, just having a fucking good ass time.
Facts. And that's the day.
Eating them hockey puck rubber ass fucking burgers.
That's the day Walker got up there and thought he was fucking R. Kelly.
Oh.
Yo, I'll never forget that shit. That shit was funny as fuck. Like he really
somebody has to have those videos.
Yo, somebody, I know somebody do. Somebody's hoarding them shits.
Well, I know. I sent it to you in Messenger, but Dixon forwarded me one of the cuts that they had from like us pouring in.
I seen that joint right there.
So I know there's video out there.
Yeah, the whole fucking performance was filmed. That I do know. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even want to see myself. I just want to watch Walker make a fool of himself trying to sing like fucking R. Kelly. That shit was funnier than a motherfucker right
so
there.
You didn't go, but there was a reunion in Vegas for the Paul Easy. I forget how many years it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. But when we were there, the Disbo Derby, he passed out a bunch of like DVDs from like the cruise that year. And I haven't watched it all the way through, but I gotta go watch it and see if any of that's on there. The Steel Beach, any of that's on there. That would be. If it is, I'm going to edit it into a video. I'm gonna post.
Hell
it.
yeah!
Sure.
And you know what's funny? If it is, that's probably the only thing that I ever was filmed on that bitch. Dog, I looked around like it's barely no pictures of me. Like I ducked every fucking camera the whole time I was in there.
Hey, y'all was letting me walk around there with a fucking completely shaved head and a fucking mustache. Hey, wow. I said, y'all let me walk around that motherfucker with a buzz cut and just a stash.
Facts.
Why?
Because that was the white boy cut.
Nah, hell nah. You know why I did that? It's like, so on the weekends, so I wouldn't shave like Wednesday. I'd do Wednesday, and then I wouldn't shave Thursday, wouldn't shave Friday. That way I could have at least some kind of a stubble or a goatee come weekend.
And rock out for the weekend.
Yeah, rock out for the weekend.
Yo, funny thing.
Hold on. I want to get back to something. My most uncomfortable situation, and a lot of people didn't think it was uncomfortable. They thought it was normal. Well, I walk down in the berthing, all these dudes in there just watching porn in the common area on TV talking about this training videos. And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna sit in here and watch porn with a bunch of fucking dudes.
Hold up, dog. I walk in the fucking berthing. No bullshit. And in my mind, I said to myself, this has to be the difference between white folks and black folks. This has to be the difference. Because this was the most gross shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. They was in there watching fucking Gag Factory. And in my mind, I said, why the fuck do you want to watch a video of a bitch throwing up on a motherfucker's dick? I don't want you to throw up on my dick. And motherfuckers like, oh my goodness, this shit is so awesome. I'm like, dude, this shit is fucking disgusting.
You want to hear something fucking weird about that?
You was into that shit.
No, me and Dallas are the ones that bought that fucking shit and brought it to the boat, dropped it off. We said, we can't keep this at the house. We can't let our wives see this fucking movie. So we dropped it off in the berthing rant anonymously, and everybody was on it. Yeah, we bought it from the corner store by his house. It's good. I got to tell Dallas about this. But
dude, no. That shit was fucking gross. I'm like, yo,
dude,
why are y'all watching this shit?
Right. Once we started watching it, I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I can't watch this. And he was like, dude, this is foul. And I was like, yeah, it is. I was like, we gotta get this shit out the house. And we just dropped it off in the berthing, act like.
Yo, see, here's the thing.
You didn't even know that. That's funny.
Dude, it was hundreds of times I walked into the berthing. Even if it wasn't my berthing, I didn't walk in the new, because I used to just be in everybody's berthing. I didn't give a fuck. I'm going to anybody's berthing.
You got to piss, you just go wherever. Like, hey, I'm up forward. I ain't walking all the way back.
But no, it wasn't even that. Because I was cool. Like I learned early, get cool with somebody in every single department. And that way you good. So I got cool with so many motherfuckers. I could go into any berthing and just sit there and fucking chill. I don't need to sit berthing 3 all the time. I can go up to 2, go down to 4, like do whatever. So I go up, I come down to the berthing 3, and 90% of the time, motherfuckers was either watching, it was only 3 things that motherfuckers really watched during that time. The Wire, The Sopranos, and porn. That was like the only thing motherfuckers watched in berthing 3. So it was numerous times I could walk in the berthing 3, Motherfuckers watching porn. I sit there, chill out for a second. I get myself to that point. I'm going to get in my rack and black out. Do what I got to do, go to sleep. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But I walk down one day and they watching that shit. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I asked, I'm like, why are y'all watching this shit? And literally all the white guys in the room was like, oh, this shit is awesome. I'm like, nah, this shit is disgusting, bro. Like, why would you want to watch this? Oh my goodness. This shit's fucking amazing. In my mind, I'm like, dude, you'll never be able to make a bitch throw up on your dick. Like, come on, bro. Like, how is this? You think it's awesome that they're doing some shit that you can't do? That's awesome. Like, come on, bro.
Like I said, man, we went to his corner store and it was like a beer store. That's where we go get the beer. And they sold toys and they had a limitless collection of DVDs. So we're in there, we're like, yo, we're fucking drunk. We're like, yo, what's the wildest shit we can get? And they're like, oh shit, there's a Gag Factor 4. What the fuck is that? and not only what is that, why do they have 4 of them?
Exactly.
Why is it part 4?
Now here's the bad part. After you said y'all dropped off 4, we end up having 4. We end up having 5 and 6 in the berthing within months.
Yeah, because somebody probably went and go look for them.
They did. They did. That shit was. I'm like, I remember I walked down and it was like, oh, we got the new Gag Factor. I went straight to my rack. I don't even want to watch that shit, bro. I'm good.